So, we kind of talked about dreams a little bit yesterday, and so I thought that I was going to get into that because why not? And I was going to talk about, because I was reading, there's a lot of different theories about why we have dreams. And yeah, I'm serious. Okay, no, this is interesting, y'all. Okay, and so I was just going to read them, and then y'all can decide and talk about which one you think might be the reason we have them. Okay, so one of the first ones is some scientists believe that dreams go hand in hand with sleep to help sorting through everything it collects while you're awake. So some minor things like the color of a car that's passing by while you're driving, or more complex things like when you're putting together a presentation. And during sleep, the brain works to plow through all the information to decide what to remember or to forget. So forget the color of a car passing by and remember your presentation. Okay, number 2. So some people believe that dreams reflect our emotions. So during the day, our brains are working hard to make connections to achieve certain functions. And during sleep, it's during sleep that the emotions we have during the day battle out during a dream cycle. So if something is weighing heavily on you throughout the day, then you might have a dream about it, that's the one that I think would be true. But and okay, third. So some researchers believe that dreams are tied to memories, and there are some studies that indicate that as we're learning new things when we're awake, that dreams increase. So there's a study done with some dream participants in dream study, and it showed that people who were taking a language course had an increase in dreams than those who were not. So we use our dreams so they believe that we use our dreams to sort through and convert short-term memories into long-term memories. And then the last one, which is least interesting, is that some people believe that dreams have no function at all. Which is probably not it at all.
I agree with you. I think it was I believe it was the second one that you read that was like
Emotion.
Yeah. It's like what's ever weighing you down that day or something. If you think about goes in your dreams.
I think that's the right one.
Well, I think that kind of ties into what I think it's your body's response to an outside stimulus. Because I know that I've had dreams. I used to have this dream where I would dive into a pool and then I'd come up for air and there'd be glass over the top so I couldn't breathe. And then I woke up one time, and the dream would either end with me breathing in the water and drowning, or I would break through the glass. And so I think that it can also be the physical sense of things. Your body's responding to something that's happening around you. Important part of that, I woke up and whenever I was breaking through the glass, I was under my sheets and I couldn't breathe.
Oh.
Yeah, so me breaking through.
That's See, but isn't it true that you can't die in your dream though? Isn't it true that you will always wake up?
Yeah, you wake up if you die, I think.
You cannot die. If you die in your dream, then you're dead.
Yeah, but I've had that dream. I've breathed in the water.
No.
Usually with dreams like that, it cuts off right before you would theoretically actually die.
But you can't apparently you cannot see you can't dream yourself a death. You can dream yourself about to die, but you.
Do you think
die.
that's
I
because
think
like
it's
your
because your
brain
brain
can't
can't-
physically imagine like
I
you
don't
dying?
know.
Like you
That's
can't
why I think
physically-
I think that's a limitation
That
of the
makes
brain
so
that
much
can't
more sense.
actually imagine yourself truly dying. At least when we're in that unconscious state.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Because I had a dream that I got bit in half by a shark once.
What?
But, no, and I remember this.
Did you
This
live?
was the creepiest dream I had. Yeah, no, I was bit in
She's
half.
right here. I mean, yes.
No, but I got bit in half by the shark. And I knew that it happened, but I was still alive. And I remember later people were having a funeral for me, and I remember I woke up while I was in my coffin or whatever during the funeral. But I remember that, and I didn't die in my dream after I got bitten in half by a shark. So that's why. Okay, thanks
Well,
for
you're
that.
very
You're
alive.
welcome.
You were very alive.
I've been enlightened.
While eviscerated.
But it's so it's not necessarily something that has actually happened to you. It can, that dream can. If you went to the beach recently and you were afraid of getting bit by a shark, then that could have had an impact. That could have planted the see.
Or like whenever people have a dream of like falling, maybe they're sleeping in a really hotel right then or something. You don't know.
So people in a coma, do they like have dreams?
What?
People in a coma?
I think people have actually measured brain activity of people in comatose states, and I think they saw activities similar to those people dreaming, but don't quote me on that.
What does being in a coma mean?
Can like people that are like brain dead like dream?
No.
They're gone.
Then there's nothing. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah,
Listen,
no
it's
real
so
activity.
sad.
I don't know about anyone else, but at least in my experiences, that's why I think it agrees with number 2. If you're like focusing on something, like on a singular idea, before you fall asleep, chances are if you remember your dream, chances are it's going to be about that. At least that's how it's been in my experiences.
I can't remember the last thing. Like, people are like, oh, just fall asleep thinking of something happy, but I don't know exactly what I am thinking about the moment before I go to sleep.
It takes effort, to be sure.
Okay.
Most of the time it's
Is it
accidental.
true that when you fall asleep, like, you just, like, got done eating out and, like, you just, like, ate a lot, you're super full, is it true that you have bad dreams? Because every time that because my parents have always told me that growing up, and, like, every time I do, like, get really, really full, I end up having a bad dream.
Maybe it's a placebo.
I think that's an old like wives' tale because you aren't supposed to like eat before you go to bed because your stomach doesn't digest so well, and basically it just causes you to gain more weight than normal.
Yeah, but if she was still awake while she was full, she probably wouldn't be feeling the best. So maybe that's just her body responding that way. Yeah.
I have
want
heard that
someone-
chocolate can cause bad dreams, like eating chocolate right before bed.
Chocolate.
I remember hearing that.
That's so
Like,
sad.
from like
heard
food.
it's
Milk, it'll help you
Someone explain to me my swiping toxicity.
You're swiping. Let's hear that one.
Kills my family.
Taryn, we hear a story here. What is
So-
that?
I'll elaborate on this.
Here, I'm gonna analyze that really quickly. That represents the loss of innocence of your childhood. I totally made that up, but like it's entirely possible.
Don't different animals that come in your dream mean something like snakes, owls?
Um,
So some cultures do that.
dream interpretation's kind of open to interpretation, so
Like, it was
maybe.
like
No, he was real. So I know he was real. He was like standing up.
Skinny. Y'all know that meme where there's like this stuffed fox and it looked exactly like that, and he was tall and skinny, and he.
Is he wearing like the mask thing?
I don't like that.
What does Piper wear? It's either like an eye mask or like a big.
He wasn't wearing.
Oh, but yeah, he wears an eye mask. Yeah.
Okay, what about
And he, like,
Gollum throwing me in the fire?
Gollum
One
through.
time I
Ooh.
One time I
watched
had a
Lord
dream
of the
that,
Rings that day.
that stormtroopers and Darth Vader were fighting in my
no.
living room, and then we just watched Star Wars together. I never
Yeah.
watched Star Wars.
You felt like someone who loved you was throwing you
It
away.
was your greed overpowering you, because y'all represents greed.
I love dream interpretation because you can just make up stuff that sounds really
I
cool.
never did that.
But there is some actual, like Marie was asking, do certain things mean things? And there is, I know I'm breaking into coffee talk, but there are some sort of like cultural significance that can be added to dreams, but dream interpretation itself is not like a complete science. So we can say these things and they might mean something, but a lot of it depends upon what Rachel was talking about, your perspective on what dreams are actually doing.
I always
So-
dream of dinosaurs.
Well, I mean, a lot of ancient cultures they take dreams as
Yeah.
like,
All my bad dreams have dinosaurs.
like for example, the Old Norse viewed ravens or crows as portents of death, or messenger of death. So a lot of times, if someone had, for example, had a dream of a raven, they would think death was coming, or they would think of it as particular importance. Because another thing about Norse mythology was that Odin had two ravens, whose names I can't remember what they mean, but they would basically speak wisdom, if I remember correctly.
Basically, it's just the brain like making stuff up.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that interpretation is very much up to cultural influences and what you believe, I'd say.
It's perspective has a lot to do.
Yeah, it's a perspective.
This is all yours.
Hey, Anna's got her hand up.
Okay, so one thing I've noticed is a lot of my dreams tend to correlate with stuff that's happened in real life. Like, I remember one of these dreams that I had. I think I was in like elementary school, and my cat Nick actually bit my mom, and it was like really serious. Like, she almost got blood poisoning from it because he's like a really nasty cat. So I don't know. I don't remember like when this was in correlation to that event, but sometime after that, I actually had a dream where I was bitten by that cat. So I tend to have dreams based on stuff that's happened in reality, not like exactly, but similar.
So which one does that? What does that one?
Probably the emotion one.
So the second one.
Yeah, stuff that you
Wait, but
see or you think about.
My cat bit me last night. No, I'm just scared.
so
Every time I have a bad dream, I wake up and I like pray to God that I don't have it, and then it goes away. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it'll go away instantly. Like, it's like I always have it. I told y'all. And somebody like holding me back from waking up from my dream, and I try to wake up from my dream, but I can't. I feel like something's pushing me, and then finally when I wake up, I like breathe really hard, and I like pray to God that I don't have the dream anymore, and then I go back to sleep, and I don't have the dream anymore.
I remember one time you know how most of the time when you realize you're dreaming, you snap awake?
What?
Has that never happened to you? Like, you realize you're in a dream and you snap awake?
I know.
no, you
wake up.
I'm like, I'm dreaming, but like I'm
I'll like fade out of it.
Huh?
I'll like fade out of it. Like I can
Or
start
like the
hearing outside
dreamscape
noises.
starts to fall apart, basically, like it becomes less tangible, I guess you should say. Or I remember one time I realized I was in a dream. I know what's happening, but no matter what I tried to force myself awake, it couldn't happen. It literally was. I could not wake up no matter how hard I concentrated on it. And that went on for what seemed at least as like 5 minutes, was probably hours in real life, and then I finally woke up.
So yesterday when we looked at the brain waves and like whenever you were dreaming and whatever, whenever you lucid dream, is that affected?
What? Oh, lucid dreaming. That's where you're like controlling the dream.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like conscious, but you're like conscious.
But lucid dreaming is not very like common. Like not a lot of people can.
I would still,
Yeah,
you would
train
still
yourself
see,
to it, really.
you would still see high levels of activity. You'd see your EEG going kind of crazy because there would be a lot of brain activity going on at that point. Not only are you dreaming, but you're also actively trying to control the dream. So I would say it's pretty active.
I can do it. If I wear a hair tie to bed, I put it around my wrist, and then in my dream, like I always look at my wrist, and if the hair tie isn't there, I know I'm dreaming. And if it is there, then
That's so Inception. That's yeah.
control that thing.
All right.
A lot of it is that not just controlling the dream, but also keeping yourself from waking up once your brain realizes that it's dreaming.
All right, we are going to wrap up. That's Coffee Talk for today. Thank you guys very much. Everybody say bye.
Bye.